Imagine a car trip where you travel at different speeds during your journey. Most people mistakenly calculate average speed by simply averaging the two speeds together. But that's completely wrong. Today, we'll learn the correct way to calculate average speed and understand why it matters. We'll cover the formula, real world applications, and common pitfalls to avoid. This knowledge is crucial for real life situations and acing your exams. Average speed is one of the most fundamental concepts in physics, but it's also one of the most misunderstood. Many students think it's simply about adding up different speeds and dividing by how many speeds you have. But that's not correct. Average speed is actually the measure of how quickly an object moves over a certain distance during its entire journey. It tells us the overall rate of motion, regardless of any speed changes that might happen along the way. Here's the key insight. Average speed is not calculated by adding up individual speeds and dividing by the number of speeds. That's a common mistake that leads to incorrect answers. Instead, average speed is calculated using a much more logical approach. We take the total distance traveled and divide it by the total time taken for the entire journey. This gives us the fundamental formula for average speed. Let me show you this formula clearly, as it's the foundation for solving all average speed problems. Let me illustrate this with a simple visual example. Imagine a car traveling from point A to point B. The car might speed up, slow down, or even stop along the way. But average speed only cares about two things. First, the total distance traveled from A to B. Second, the total time it took to complete this journey. Average speed doesn't care about the individual speeds during different parts of the trip. It's important to understand that average speed is what we call a scalar quantity. This means it has magnitude, a numerical value, but no direction. It simply tells us how fast something moved overall. This formula, total distance divided by total time, is your key to solving any average speed problem. Whether it's a simple trip or a complex journey with multiple stages, this fundamental relationship always applies. Now that we understand what average speed represents, it's time to examine the mathematical formula that makes all our calculations possible. The formula for average speed is beautifully simple, yet incredibly powerful. The formula states that average speed equals total distance divided by total time. This division tells us how much distance we cover per unit of time, which is exactly what speed measures. To use this formula effectively, we need to understand the units of measurement. Distance can be measured in various units depending on the scale of our problem. Similarly, time can be measured in different units. The most common units we encounter are seconds, minutes, and hours, depending on how long our journey takes. When we divide distance by time, we get speed units that combine both measurements. The most common speed units are meters per second, kilometers per hour, and miles per hour. There's an important mathematical concept we need to understand about average speed. Average speed is what we call a scalar quantity. This means it has magnitude, which is just a fancy word for size or value, but it has no direction. This is different from velocity, which is a vector quantity that includes both magnitude and direction. When we calculate average speed, we only care about how fast something moved, not which direction it went. Now that we understand all the components, the formula becomes our powerful tool for solving any average speed problem. Remember, divide the total distance traveled by the total time taken, and you'll have your average speed. Now that we understand the average speed formula, let's apply it to our first example. This will be a straightforward calculation that demonstrates the basic application of the formula. Here's our problem. A car travels 120 kilometers in 2 hours. We need to find the car's average speed. Let me visualize this journey for you. We have a car that travels a distance of 120 kilometers, and this journey takes exactly 2 hours to complete. Now let's identify our given information and set up our calculation. First, let's clearly identify our given information. We have a total distance of 120 kilometers and a total time of 2 hours. Now we'll use our average speed formula. Average speed equals total distance divided by total time. Now let's substitute our values into the formula step by step. Step 1. We substitute our values into the formula. Average speed equals 120 kilometers divided by 2 hours. Step 2, we perform the division. 120 divided by 2 equals 60. So our average speed is 60 kilometers per hour. Let me highlight our final answer clearly. Therefore, the car's average speed is 60 kilometers per hour. This means that, on average, the car traveled 60 kilometers every hour during its journey. This example demonstrates the direct application of our average speed formula. We simply divide the total distance by the total time to get our answer. This straightforward calculation forms the foundation for more complex average speed problems. Now that we've mastered this basic calculation, we're ready to tackle more challenging average speed problems. Now we'll work through our second example, which involves a round trip. This type of problem often confuses students, so we'll break it down step by step. A car travels 100 kilometers to a destination, then returns the same 100 kilometers back home. The entire round trip takes 2 hours total. We need to find the average speed for the complete journey. First, the car travels 100 kilometers from home to the destination. Then it returns 100 kilometers back home. This gives us a visual understanding of what a round trip means. Now we need to identify our given information clearly. We have the distance for each leg of the trip and the total time for the entire journey. The first step is to calculate the total distance traveled. This is crucial because we need the total distance, not just one leg of the trip. We substitute our values. 100 kilometers plus 100 kilometers equals 200 kilometers total. Step 2, identify the total time. The problem states that the entire round trip takes 2 hours. This is already given to us directly. Step 3, apply the average speed formula. Remember, average speed equals total distance divided by total time. Now we substitute our calculated values. 200 kilometers divided by 2 hours. Performing the division, 200 divided by 2 equals 100. Therefore, the average speed is 100 kilometers per hour. This result makes sense. Even though the car traveled 200 kilometers total, it took 2 hours to complete the entire journey, giving us an average speed of 100 kilometers per hour for the round trip. Now we're ready for our most challenging example. This multi-stage journey problem will test your understanding of how average speed works when a vehicle travels at different speeds for different time periods. Here's our problem. A car travels at 60 kilometers per hour for 2 hours, then at 80 kilometers per hour for 1.5 hours, and finally at 50 kilometers per hour for 3 hours. We need to find the average speed for the entire journey. To solve this problem, we need to find the total distance traveled and the total time taken. Then we can apply our average speed formula. Let me show you the systematic approach. First, let's calculate the distance for stage 1. We use the formula distance equals speed times time. For stage 1, 60 kilometers per hour times 2 hours equals 120 kilometers. For stage 2, 80 kilometers per hour times 1.5 hours equals 120 kilometers. For stage 3, 50 kilometers per hour times 3 hours equals 150 kilometers. Now that we have the distance for each stage, let's calculate the totals. The total distance is the sum of all 3 stages. 120 plus 120 plus 150 equals 390 kilometers. The total time is the sum of all time periods. 2 plus 1.5 plus 3 equals 6.5 hours. Now we can apply the average speed formula using our totals. Remember, average speed equals total distance divided by total time. Substituting our values, average speed equals 390 kilometers divided by 6.5 hours. Performing the division, 390 divided by 6.5 equals exactly 60 kilometers per hour. Notice something interesting. Even though the car traveled at 60, 80, and 50 kilometers per hour, the average speed is exactly 60 kilometers per hour. This happens because the car spent more time at the slower speeds, which brings down the overall average. This multi-stage problem demonstrates why we must always use total distance and total time, rather than trying to average the individual speeds. The time spent at each speed significantly affects the final result. Congratulations! You've successfully mastered the fundamentals of average speed calculation. Today, we covered the essential formula that forms the foundation of motion analysis in physics. We explored the core formula. average speed equals total distance divided by total time. This simple yet powerful equation allows you to analyze motion in countless real-world scenarios. Throughout our journey, we mastered several key concepts. We learned how to apply the formula in various scenarios, from simple travel calculations to complex multi-stage journeys. We worked through 3 progressively challenging examples: simple travel calculations, round-trip scenarios, and multi-stage journeys. Each example built upon the previous one, strengthening your problem-solving skills. Most importantly, we identified common mistakes and how to avoid them. Remember, the key to success is always identifying the total distance and total time first, before applying the formula. You're now equipped with the knowledge and confidence to tackle average speed problems in your coursework, standardized tests, and real-world applications. This foundation will serve you well as you continue exploring physics and mathematics. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more physics and mathematics tutorials. Your support helps us create more educational content for students like you. Leave a comment below with any questions you might have, or suggest topics you'd like us to cover in future videos. We love hearing from our learning community, and your feedback helps shape our content. Next up, we'll be exploring velocity and acceleration, building on the foundation you've established today. These concepts will deepen your understanding of motion and prepare you for more advanced physics topics. Keep learning, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next video.